So, hey everybody, I am here with a special guest. My amazing husband, Oyama, is joining me today. I got him on camera just to, and hopefully this is in the frame and you can see my OVERFLOW 100 Day Self-Discovery Journal. And the reason why I asked Yam to join me today is because I wanted to show you that even if you have a mate who doesn't necessarily journal, that you can still use the journal as a way of having meaningful conversations and discussion, and it can still be even a self-discovery tool for your mate as well. And we're sitting at our kitchen table, and we call it the round table because it's round and glass. It is round, but there's another reason why we call it the round table. You want to tell them why we call it the round table, babe?
A lot of people have gotten a lot of things from sitting at this table.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of healing, deliverance, words. It's just been a lot. When you sit down at the table, you just never know what God is going to impart to you through us sitting at the table.
Yeah.
So that's why we call it the round table, because when you sit at the table, you never know what you're going to get when you sit at the table.
So true, so true. So if you ever come to our house and sit at the round table, just be prepared. All right, so what I did was I chose 3 journal prompts, basically one from each section of the journal. And babe, I want you to know that I didn't choose anything too deep, real deep, because some of these questions I feel like they are for that person and that person alone. You know, it's for them to reflect on, not necessarily share with anybody else unless they want to. But I want people to see that whether it's something that you consider to be, you know, a surface question, a surface prompt, or even, you know, not real deep, there's still something that you can learn about yourself and discover about yourself even through that. So that's what I wanted people to see. And I'm going to take off my glasses so I can read. Okay, so this first prompt is in section 1 on self-awareness, and it's actually day 5 of the journal, and the questions are: what is your favorite hobby? I don't know if I've ever asked you that question.
Favorite hobby? Besides watching TV.
Watching your crime shows.
Or doing a little studying.
Yeah.
I would say really coaching.
Okay.
I love coaching.
Okay. And who in particular do you like to coach? That's not one of the questions, but...
Well, I like to coach, you know, the high school age and, you know, college, you know, the college kids or whatever, because, you know, you want to be able to try to, you know, communicate to the athlete, you know, how to become, you know, an adult. You know, adulting is hard, but you want to try to communicate what you do as coaching as far as them maturing.
Yeah.
And being able to carry that on throughout their lives.
Yeah. So you like pouring into the lives of young people?
Yes.
Okay. Great. Yep. I knew that. I did know that. So the next question is, do you make enough time to enjoy it, to enjoy that hobby? And if not, why not?
No, I'm not gonna say I make enough. I don't make enough time. It's just that, you know, with my job, it's so demanding. So I work a lot of hours, so I don't get to put in enough time that I would like to. So, you know, the time I do put in, I try to make the best of that time.
Okay. Yep. Yes. So Excellent. So if if you have a mate who doesn't really want to write it down, you could write it down. You could write down the responses, or if it's something that you're already aware of, then it's up to you what you choose. But so that's one question. Thank you very much, or I should say one prompt. See, that wasn't too bad, was it?
No, that wasn't too bad.
Okay. So the next prompt is from the soul awareness section. Still not too heavy though. This would be day 62 of the journal. I don't know. This might be. It's not too deep, but then it also kind of is, because we're talking now on the soul level. What causes you emotional pain, and how do you express that?
Oh man, I say the greatest emotional pain, it would probably be dealing with our children. Because they don't always listen.
Yeah.
So it would be the greatest pain, because you're trying to teach your kids something, and it's more or less like, okay, you teaching them, but it's almost like they're rejecting what you're trying to teach or trying to show them.
So or at least it seems that way.
It seems that way, know, and it just might be that, they don't see it the way you see it right now. So, it's hard for a parent to see that when that, even what God has told you about the child or whatever the case is, the children, it's still hard to watch them go through what they're going through. And, a lot of times us as parents, we just don't understand they got their own path.
Yeah.
Even though we're supposed to teach them and, equip them, but it don't mean that we're supposed to, try to pave the way for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just,
right.
You're supposed to impart to them. They're supposed to take whatever you get and use the tools that you have given them.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they don't, some kids don't get it right away. And then sometimes they do. Later on in life, they say, oh, now I get what he was talking about, or I get what mom was saying.
Yeah.
But, when you're young, you're still not there yet. You're still thinking as a child.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know, from speaking as a mom and other moms that I talk to, and from a mom's perspective, this on one hand, that they have to follow their own path and make their own way, and you want them to do that. But then on the other hand, you worry about them. You're concerned for them, and you want to spare them from going through some things that they go through. But you can't really do that. I mean, you can teach them, but
right. And I think what it comes down to, and just excuse me, what the Lord's just showing me is just that, when it comes to that area, as parents or whatever, we have a lack of faith. You know what I'm saying? And we're not believing that the kid will at some point get what it is that they need. So that's what he's showing me, that okay, yeah, you have faith in all these other areas, but it's so hard when it comes to your children, to try to let them go and go their way, and it's hard for a parent.
It is. It's hard to be objective.
Yeah.
When it comes to your kids.
Like I said, you have faith, but it's in that particular area. I don't think we have what you so-called great faith in it. We believe, but help our unbelief.
Yes.
Because we don't always believe, because we don't see it.
Yep. And it takes longer than we think. It even things that I know that God has said, about the children, but then it seemed like it take longer than you expect it to take.
Well, I think that's because we need to get out the way.
Oh.
And that's why it takes longer than what it should, because as parents, we still try to hold on, and we still try to cuddle them.
Oh, God.
Or whatever the case is, or, give them a couple dollars here and there, instead of, them finding their way. If you got a job, then you're supposed to make good with the money. Yeah. You're supposed to use the provision that we're supposed to use those provisions that he gives us to do right with it. So, and they go out there and mess up. Oh, can I do this? Oh, can I do that? And you're like, man, didn't I teach you? Are you learning anything?
Ooh.
But it's so hard as a parent, you know, when you watch the child struggle. But that's what builds character, though.
It is. It is. And then I think too, and we forget that, yes, we are teaching them what we know now, but they also model what we didn't know before too. We see some of that too. And just like God brought us out and brought us through, believing and trusting that He's bringing them out and bringing them through as well. But I agree. I know I can be when it comes to them kids, I can be an unbelieving believer.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is hard because, like you said, you especially for young men, because if you don't get somebody to model what a man is, then how will you become a man yourself?
Yeah.
And then you'll struggle. You'll be trying to figure it out, learn on your own.
Yeah.
And it takes you just that much longer.
Yes.
So we need men out here to really teach other young men.
Yeah. Same for young women. Same for women. And then, like you say, we're learning while we're already trying to parent. So they get a little bit of, you know, of us at each stage of our own growth too.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, how do you express that emotional pain?
Expressing that, I mean, it's just like sometimes you just have to cuss sometimes because they make you want to cuss.
They do.
Oh my goodness, make you want to have a drink.
Take you there.
I mean, these kids will take you there, and you be like, Lord, you said my job was to teach them. Yeah, but you just have to, I mean, no matter what we do or go through, I mean, we got to talk it out. It's a process.
Yeah.
It's a journey. We're on the journey. They're on the journey, and we don't understand their journey. You know,
right?
So it just, like they say, it is what it is.
Right. And we help each other by talking it out with each other too. Yeah, and being there for each other when each other is having a moment, or sometimes we both having a moment at the same time, and we both cussing. So hey, that's just the truth of the matter.
They take you somewhere.
It also helps me to journal too. Writing it out, writing about it, that helps me too, and it helps me regain my perspective.
I understand it. That's good. I mean, you know, one thing that I like that you do, like you said, you journal, whatever. Yeah. You know, and a lot of men don't journal because, you know, we function differently. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? A man his thing is, well, I'm gonna figure it out. You know, I'm gonna figure out what to do or whatever the case is. But you know, when the scripture says, you know, you got to write the vision and make it plain. So, you know, journaling is the vision.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why do you think men feel like do you feel like men think, well, what is writing it down gonna do? No, what is journaling about it gonna do?
Because men are they think and they react with trying to fix instead of trying to write it down on paper. They already got it here of what it is they think they should be doing or how to do it. So that's why they a lot of times will say, oh, I instead of, you know, taking time, let me write this down, you know, let me process my thoughts. You know, a lot of times, but see, a man process his thoughts in his head. Okay. You know what I'm saying? He's thinking of ways of doing things instead of, you know, writing it down. Where most women say, well, I got to write it out because, you know, a woman, you know, she's emotional, so she has so much going on. You know, where men, it's not like that. You know, for them, it's, you know, I got to pay the bills, you know, but they process differently.
Yeah, but are they also suppressing their emotions?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, if you don't have an outlet, yeah, I would say so.
Because one thing about, and this is scientifically proven that writing actually helps you tap into your emotions. So it actually helps express, process, expose, analyze, and tap into our emotions.
See, I think what it is, a lot of times, when you come up or you grow up, you always heard of, little girls writing in their diaries.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And
True.
nobody has ever taught a young man to say, hey, get you a diary and write in it or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Write down what it is that you're going through. See, guys are you go out there, you're going to play sports. This is the way we deal with our emotions or whatever, or we tap into something else.
Yeah.
To escape that or whatever the case.
In the way you've been socialized.
In the way yes.
Got it.
So you're still not taught that at a young age. They say, hey, you ain't supposed to be crying. You ain't supposed to be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to be doing this. Or you're supposed to be out there watching dad work, and he ain't showing you how to process emotions because he don't know how to process his own.
That's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now you just get a cycle of guys and young men not being able to process what it is, their emotions that they're going through.
Yeah. Yep. And you know what? And actually women too, especially Black women, women of color, we are socialized, and I can only speak, for Black women, but we are socialized to believe that admitting and expressing our emotion is weakness.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think as men and women, we are often socialized in that way, or someone might not necessarily come right out and say that, but that's the message that you get, that you pick up.
And then, a lot of times people don't think that there's nothing wrong.
Oh.
Because, you just believe it's normal.
That's true.
Mama went through it, I'm going through it. It's normal.
You're
So people just think that this is what I'm supposed to go through too.
Yeah, that's life.
So, like you said, it says life or whatever the case is.
Yeah, and then we never learn healthy coping techniques.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. All right, that's wisdom right there. And just so y'all know, these are the kind of conversations we have all the time. So y'all just got a little sneak peek.
Yep.
Whether we're at the round table or on the couch or in the car, wherever. So, okay. Thank you, Brother Johnson, for that. Okay, finally, the last section is, what is your legacy? And the prompt reads, what is your legacy, and how can you use your previous responses, although you haven't responded to all the previous questions, but it asks, how can you use your previous responses in this journal to help you focus on building that legacy? So maybe, what is your legacy, or what would you like your legacy to be?
What I would like my legacy to be is just, passing along wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Because without it, without the wisdom, the understanding, the knowledge, you're going to perish.
Yeah. So
the best thing that you can leave anybody is some wisdom. A little knowledge or whatever the case is, because I can't take what I have in my head. I don't want to take it with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to be able to leave that.
The lessons
that I've learned and the things that I've seen, and the things that, that I had to go through.
Yeah.
As a young man, learning to be able to trust, the Lord with all my heart.
Yeah.
And lean not to my own understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's just something you would like to leave, like even like Bibles and different things like that, whatever you've written down, even journals or whatever, those things are going to be able to, that's a legacy. That's something that you are going to be able to leave somebody to be able to use. You can't take it with you.
Yeah, I never thought about it like that.
So the thing of it is even with this journal, the things and the questions that you have in here, that's going to be able to help somebody else when they get ready to read it and go through it. That's the legacy that you leave.
Wow.
You're leaving something on the earth, like people plant trees.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you
Mm-hmm.
leave something for the children. You leave a legacy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you think about, you know, what God did for us, look at the trees and different things that He left for us. Nature in itself. I left this for you to be able to, you know, learn from it. This is what we're supposed to do, learn from what He's left us.
Yeah. Yep. Yes.
Supposed to be able to use it. Everything we can use, whatever we look at out here.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about perception.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For sure.
So,
In you know, if as our offspring, if they're able to, if they look at this journal, they will even be able to learn some things about me, and then, like you were saying, learn some things that they can emulate, maybe, hopefully learn from. Yeah.
And you know, the thing of it is, I go a step further. I mean, that's why we were left the Bible.
Yeah.
It's a legacy. It's your inheritance.
Hmm.
It's what God is what He has for us. It's our instructions.
Yeah.
So if you get these instructions and you do this, you're gonna be blessed.
Yeah.
You're gonna live right. You're gonna have a prosperous life.
All right. All right, now preach. Okay. That's good stuff.
So I mean, it's just we don't look at all the things that He's given us, and you know, a lot of times we take a lot of stuff for granted and not looking at what He's given us and why He gave us certain and specific instructions.
Yeah.
You know, if I give you this, you can live for a long time. You want to see the kingdom, but these are the things you got to do in order to see the kingdom. If you want to know yourself, these are the things you got to know about self.
Yes.
And that's why He has other people in the book as examples, because though they left a legacy.
Yeah.
Of following the Most High.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate your feedback. Always imparting wisdom to me and others. So I appreciate that. And that is your legacy. Just so you know. So I hope you all enjoyed our one of our roundtable discussions, and that you will find unique and enriching and beneficial ways to use the Overflow Journal to be able to live a life where you are pouring out from a place of abundance, not trying to pour out from a place of deficiency.
Amen.
Because it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna last. And that's so often what we do and what we try to do, and we push ourselves until we can't do anything. I know that has been me many times, and that's a cycle that I'm working to change and to break. My husband does not have that problem. So he's a good example for me to look at, and I learned just by watching him in the pace that he moves at. And one of the things that I talk about in the journal is finding our own unforced rhythms of grace, right? And that's for each person. So hopefully you will you will pre-order your copy of the Overflow, a 100-day self-discovery journal, and you will be blessed by it. And thanks for tuning in, and until next time.
Amen.